Okay, there we go. There we go. Get in the groove of things. That's something. There we go. Okay, turn this down a bit. All right, we are back. Welcome back, y'all. This is Eric C, and this is Dissect the Line. I first want to say for a happy new year for those that don't believe in that and think it's March, like it's supposed to be. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, either way, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for coming back. This is episode 113. All right. Now, let me get into my nitty whatever stuff about me. I mean, what can I say about this new year that hasn't been said? Uh, I remember posting it on my thing. I was saying to myself, is it me? Or does this just feel like another day? That's how I felt. I don't know. Maybe it's because, it's kind of weird seeing myself as like this adult person. Like I think like in a few months, like it's gonna be like 10 years since I graduated high school. So the fact of me like doing adult things and like I don't know, it's like odd to me. So I guess I say, but since we're the new adults, we have to make the traditions. We have to do this. I'm like, yeah, that's true, but to be honest, because growing up, I'm thinking how my parents celebrate certain things. They were going to their people's place a lot. Like, I mean, my parents rarely would like have get-togethers, as far as I know. They would usually go to other people's spot. As far as I know, it's rarely, oh, let's get together, let's do this. Like, everybody has like that one person that they know that like has like a party. Not saying that they didn't have it, but I don't know. It's not. I think a lot of events, holidays, it's not really family oriented as it used to be, and you can tell by just how everybody's all doing the whatever random stuff all at once. Everybody's just in their bubble. I kind of see it more so in our community. Like, I think there's so many traditions that we kind of take for granted, or we don't really even know, or even worse, that kind of get policed for it. I'll break it down. Like, I'll just kind of say my piece on it as far as that goes. I remember I probably told this story so many times, but like growing up, kind of middle class in a way, my parents kind of wanted me and my older brother to kind of experience different things, different horizons. So, in a way, they kind of took us because they didn't, which I think is terrible that how we're programmed. I'm guessing the school that we were supposed to go to, they didn't think it was safe for us, meaning that certain kids that looked like us, that were probably less fortunate, even though we weren't necessarily the banks or goddamn Richie Rich, but because we didn't grow up in that environment, something told me that our parents thought that we wouldn't be safe. And I guess they didn't want to put us in a box where we would emulate that. So they believe they would send us somewhere to maybe, okay, they can like see different people, explore different things, maybe have different interests, keep us kind of grounded. That place, maybe I'm not copyrighted, was struck in a meteor. I remember looking at it yesterday, uh, probably like my first week there. Now, granted, it was about, what was it, like 70 something percent Caucasian people. It was like that. So, growing up, went to school with a lot of people, especially elementary school. Elementary school, like different sorts of races. Like I didn't know what you know racism really was or prejudice really was growing up. as a kid until I went to middle school. Then when I went to middle school, a lot of things kind of changed. I started noticing that, you know, people love seeing individuals that look like me that are on TV and entertain and they're extraordinary beings. But until you get to those certain spaces where you're just normal and regular, from my experience, it's not the same energy. So I kind of got a reality check in a way, kind of like, in a way, mind fuck, just to say, uh, because of that. I had like my first kind of hands on experience of like prejudice, you know, any slur you could probably think of, I've been called that. Uh, Picked on because multitude of things. I was a pretty, probably like how my pinky is right here. I was like a real twig in middle school. Uh, Obviously, there's been plenty of classes where I was the only black kid in there, not being hyperbolic at all. And of course, there's a flip side, you know, because most people assume you're a stereotype, you're unintelligent, this, that, and the third, probably prone to doing mischievous things. Then the flip side is when you don't do those things, all of a sudden, and I'm pretty sure people can relate to this. Oh, you're like a white black guy. You're like such an Oreo. Oh, y'all have the same parents? Why is he darker than you? But y'all have the same parents. I've heard that all the time. Then it gets worse. Then when it comes to the type of music you listen to. Growing up, I think around because I used to watch wrestling a lot growing up, so a lot of the times I watch wrestling, the majority genre would be rock, right? So I was interested in it. I would listen to some artists, listen to their songs. Then I find my own niche, find my own taste, do that. I would listen to that. I would listen to like different stuff. I would even wear different clothes. Then all of a sudden, I'm trying to be like a white person. So I'm like, wait. So if you can listen to this type of music where it's urban type of clothes, whatever, and still be white, and then people think it's okay. But what I'm doing, I'm trying to emulate something that I'm not. Then you're trying to police what it's like to be something that you've never been, never experienced onto me, and subconsciously make me think that I have to exhibit myself in like the most stereotypical version of myself to make your illusion not be shattered. I think that happens a lot. And I want to just add this again. Why can't Black Americans or just Black people in general be cultured? Now, I'm going to break down what culture is. Hopefully, this doesn't ruin anything. So, right here, it says now culture, it says it's the collection of shared beliefs, values, behaviors, and customs of a group of people. Also includes arts, laws, institutions, social norms of society, often associated with a specific region or location. Now, and it's sad that we're in a new year, everything and this, that, and the third. That there's still some instances of like prejudice where people still equate just pigmentation of skin tone, which in itself is stupid, right? In itself is dumb. If you really think about it, people will look at how your skin looks and try to equate you to think, oh, how smart is this person? How attractive is this person? Does this person play sports? Does he know anything STEM related? Can he play an instrument? Does he speak gibberish? not knowing that this needs nothing but just the type of gene pool that you may have, or whatever. What is it? Phrenology, whatever pigmentation, whatever is in your DNA. It has nothing to do with anything dealing with the sort. Everybody either learns stuff, they unlearn stuff. Some people are gifted, some people are good at what learning one thing. Fine. The problem is certain people have condition to think, you know, if you're on the paler side, that maybe they're gifted at everything. They know everything. It even boils down to how shook my screen. This also boils down to how religion, how they try to paint, especially when it comes to us, like people that's listening right now. We all know have that one auntie or grandmother that either has one or two paintings, or pictures. They either got Jesus, but not the historically correct one. If you want to use that, they got Jesus. They either got MLK or JFK. The MLK or JLK may flip, but for sure they're gonna have Jesus or they're gonna have the MLK. That's what I remember growing up, and it made me think like these are the individuals that are. It's almost like that's all we know because even when I look at history books, right, even our history is kind of not really shown correctly, and then it kind of puts in that picture like when someone's looking at it, someone like me who doesn't really know who they really are. If all they see is themselves as someone that's chained and beat, whipped, torn, whatever, harassed, taken advantage of, very just low level type of being. That's what they're gonna think. And so subconsciously, when they see someone that looks like them, it's almost like if the quote juice. It's like if I don't think I was shit. If you're less of a man than me, and if I decide you not shit, you know, and thus the kind of self hatred war goes on to where, you know, we kind of I think like a lot of times, I don't think most people like us in America especially. Uh I think we enjoy I don't want to say we don't like being who we are as a people. I think we like the benefit of having like a tale, a story to tell. And that story is rooted in like pain and trauma. But it's weird. It's kind of like a Stockholm kind of syndrome kind of thing where it's like we love to tell our story that was rooted in pain. We embracing that. We like saying what we overcame, but not necessarily how to fix it. And I hate that because our history is engulfed with so many great people. We didn't have inventors, scientists, technicians. I just found out like we was responsible for making the GPS, the traffic light security system, the first model for like the cell phone, like just different stuff. But the only thing that people think that we contribute to is nothing against music, because music is a big thing. But just be honest, that all we do is just rap and just dribble. But we're like so much multi-layered in that. But because we're policed for how we are as a people, we're like police from. Oh, let me not say police. I say we're like pimped for. We get pimped for how people think we're supposed to be. I could tell you plenty of stories, but uh, what's a good one? I was working at this loan branch, and it wasn't like a pretty loan branch. It was like some hole in the wall type shit. But we're all playing music, and like nobody. I never had a chance to like play my music because I don't want. I was like, no, because me personally, I be thinking because I have like a different things. I'm thinking like, oh, this is weird or whatever. But I was like, okay, let me just play whatever. So I was playing like different types of genres. Playing rap, I was playing R&B, play some country, play some rock. I was doing all the songs that I've known from my head listening. I just constantly played and played. And of course I was singing the ones that I knew and that other people knew. And it was like a good mix. I was just like going off of YouTube, going off of memory songs, and I was like, oh, play this, play that. So I guess my manager was noticing all the good songs I was playing, and she was like, I'm trying to remember. She was like, oh, look at Eric with the music on the music. He's like a savant. And I know she meant it in a nice way, but in my mind, I was thinking to myself, this is what I thought she said. How the hell do he know this shit? He ain't supposed to know this shit. I thought y'all only just listen to rap. That's what in my mind, how I thought it was. Cause I don't know, just the way she said it. Maybe I'm bugging, but the way she said it kind of sounded kind of seemed like almost she was shocked that she didn't expect. Like there's some people that still probably think that all black people listen to is just rap music, and that we don't know anything else. And I find that very annoying, considering the fact that we pretty much are responsible for every single genre of music, including the country, including EDM, techno, house, all that, not just rap. But and I left like the day after. But that's not the point. But I just want to say, just we're very multi-layered. We're not just all one phenotype, one just monolithic. We're not a monolithic group of people. And I think sometimes when certain people don't see that, instead of alleviating that thought of they see this group of people as this, they just put them in a category. Like, oh, I still think you guys are XYZ, but I'll put you guys in the special type of, you ever, oh, you're the good ones. That type. Oh, you're the special type of black. You're the one that we can poke jabs at, but they're not going to do anything because they're not that type of person. And I see that a lot happening too. They keep those types around so they can tell their friend, like, see, I got a black friend. I got lots of black friend. But it'd be like just their coworker or something. Nobody else. But I think, like I said, I think we're taking advantage of it because I think the gift and the curse about us is people like we're so gifted and talented and so ahead of the curve from everybody else that once we do something great, we just kind of forget about it, burn out from it, and then start something new, which isn't necessarily wrong, but it kind of, and I think I see that with hip hop in general because that's exactly what I think about it. I think it's the only genre that doesn't respect their elders. And it makes sense coming from a genre that was, in a sense, based on rebellion and breaking rules, not really listening to. I think Chris Rock said it best. I think it was like the only genre made by, I guess you want to say, free black men, meaning like the only genre that wasn't rooted from, racism, people that came from like that Jim Crow era, slavery era, all that, descendants of slavery, all that. That Reconstruction part, I think was on it, which is true because what started 70s. So yeah, but I think we're just more. I think we're more than that. I don't think we're just, you know, weed smoking, basketball driven dummies. But I mean, are we pumped for being who we are? I mean, I see it happen all the time. People think that because you're not black if you don't wear this type of clothes, these type of shoes. Shit, if you now, according to Trump with black jobs now, especially as a male, like male, if you don't work a certain type of job, that's like, which I find very odd because it's like if you a black dude and you don't work like a manual job, they think you something wrong with you. But it's like, uh, so y'all don't want to be considered slaves, this, that, and the third, but you want to work like one. Like that doesn't really correlate. I don't know. It's like very flip floppy, and I see that a lot. It's like, is there like some sort of? I want to make sure I say this right too. Is there a self hate slash labeling as well in our community? Because I always notice people, because people want to say in long live Paul Mooney, respect for that, but he said something that I didn't disagree with. I didn't agree with. Excuse me. I didn't agree with per se. I disagree with it wholeheartedly, even though think he's one of the underrated legends. But he was saying black people can't be racist by definition. Is what he said, and I disagree because if you actually look at the definition, by definition, we could be. But the worst part is we do that to ourselves, from colorism to constant belittling and bickering, the repetitive shame tactics that always happens because you don't fall into the script we were given to follow to be considered black. Oh, you eat healthy food. You're on white people. You doing white people stuff. I want to be healthy and not have a big back by the time I'm 40. So all of a sudden I'm acting like Kenny Rogers. That's the logic that I'm getting at. Or, I don't take an excessive amount of drugs and alcohol. So all of a sudden I'm like Mother Teresa because I do that. It's just a lot of that going on. A lot of self hate because I said, I was trying to say, I think us as a people, certain people, like the benefits of victim privilege when it comes to that. But as a whole, there's certain Black American, African, whatever you want to call it, people that don't like being black. They don't. They try their hardest to emulate other races. We be the hardest to say what we're mixed with, or we want to be so close to whiteness that we'll make up a whole bunch of shit to say, oh, I got a half percentage, like one half of a half percentage of Scottish, so that's why I get my freckles. Like what? Like no, freckles isn't necessarily a what race has a thing. It's this deep rooted stuff. It deals more so with the gene pool of your own. It's different stuff in the atmosphere. I don't know. It's just things like that. And then I get annoyed when I hear that certain like they want to say, "Oh, I'm Creole," but they don't know a lick of goddamn French, and they don't know uh, which relative has Creole in them. They just know, oh, we're from this place. They said we're Creole, so I'm gonna just make my identity Creole. I'm like, okay, tell that to a cop when they arrest you. Yeah, I'm Creole. Don't know a single language of it. Kind of like when some people say, "Oh, I'm Spanish," but they don't know a lick of Spanish. I'm no black. I'm no black. But say you're Spanish, but you don't know a lick of Spanish. You just know two words. Shit, the Dominicans too. I'll add Dominicans to that list. Some. Let me say some. I don't want to start no war. Some of them don't want to claim that stuff. But I just rich. I mean, I want this new year. First of all, the what I want from this new year is that I want us as a people to stop glorifying these trash ass TV shows that's making us go set us back like 100 years. Is what I want to do because I've been seeing that a lot. I was seeing, I don't know, like remember when Power used to be good? Like the show power, like ever since they did the spin-offs and all that, I don't know, it just became real cartoony to me. Like it started becoming Marvel almost. I'm like, oh my gosh, like yeah, and then it used to be so multi-layered and depth. I thought like, okay, getting like a Sopranos feel. Okay, cool. Trying to live both lives, family life and the other family. I thought that was like the cool like homage to Sopranos and all that, but then it just turned into some. I don't know what it turned into, but I know it's like trash. And then P Valley. I don't know. I don't know. I never seen an episode of it. It's not for me. I mean, Snowfall was cool, but I think, like I said, we're more than, especially when it goes back to TV. Like we're more than just dope dealing and all that. Like there's so much stories you could find with us. Like, and I remember having this conversation with my mom. She was saying like how, the comedy shows were relatable. I'm like, to who? I grew up middle class Houston, Texas. I ain't seen a black kid at that in middle class Houston, Texas. I ain't never seen no boxing awards come around with. Like, I don't know. She was trying to say, well, I know certain relatives. Okay, that's fine. You may seen one, but I'm just talking like regular everyday life. Like, oh, my parents this. Like, oh my god, I'm pretty sure I have parents just like anybody else. They were just scraping by just to pay rent, pay their mortgage. But what's wrong with that? I don't get why there can't be stuff like that. Like everybody wants to try to emulate that gangster, pseudo gangster lifestyle. Meanwhile, they wasn't even into that stuff when they was in school. It's like you was a good kid all through school, and then all of a sudden you in the streets because you didn't make it, didn't play college ball. So all of a sudden you want to pick up a gun, and all of a sudden you're taking your aggression out on everybody because you sat for yourself. And I hate that that's a recurring theme. But you know, you know, let people live their life. But that's all I got. I mean, what y'all think, man? Y'all think black people aren't cultured? You think we can still like different stuff but still be us? Because like I said, other races can do that. Other races can listen to rap. They can try to talk like us and all that. But they just go back to who they are. But this is a thought. I'll probably put it in the poll. But thank y'all for tuning in. Again, like, comment, subscribe, Twitter. I keep saying Twitter X. Y'all know the rest. Spotify, all that. I'm gone. Till next time.